Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel once again. I am Robert Storms. If you like what you see, be sure to hit that thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. So, a few people reached out and asked me, Rob, have you seen that the Russo brothers confirmed that they will come back if they can do the Fantastic Four? And this was news from a couple days ago. I didn't talk about this news. I know other websites ran with it. Maybe I should have talked about this then. But to me, I watched the interview, and I think there's a lot of clickbait going on in this interview. Or not in the interview itself, but in this story, there's a lot of clickbait going on. Where never once did the Russo brothers say, oh yeah, if Kevin Feige gives me Fantastic Four, I'm coming back and I'm going to direct Fantastic Four. Never once did Anthony ever go ahead and confirm that. What they said was, the guy running the interview said, hey, you know, there's a lot of stuff in the MCU. What would bring you back to the MCU? And he said, well, you know, I was a fan of Ben Grimm. I was a fan of the X-Men. We now have Fantastic Four. I wouldn't mind, you know, maybe coming back and tackling Fantastic Four. It was a question as of what if. Like, what would bring you back to the table? Never once did any of the Russo brothers say, well, if they give me Fantastic Four, I'm coming back. People are running with those headlines, and it's such a non-story story. It's such a clickbait story because that's not what they said whatsoever in this interview. They just said, well, you know what? If one day, if we decide to come back to the MCU, we wouldn't mind maybe tackling, you know, Fantastic Four or maybe some of the X-Men stories. Never once did they say, well, if Kevin Feige gives us X-Men and Fantastic Four, we're coming back. And I think a lot of people ran with the wrong headlines there. So that's why I didn't really comment on the story, because to me, it's not a story. It's a clickbait story. I mean, I gotta be honest with you, I don't even know what I'm running with the title for this video, but this video might in fact have a clickbait title. I know it's all about views, I know it's all about clicks, but it's what you say inside the video to actually get the right information across, because some people are saying, oh, this is confirmed. And let's not forget, the Russo brothers are really busy. They're really busy. They got this other movie coming out with Tom Holland. Not only that, if I'm not mistaken, I think they signed like this multi-million-dollar contract with another studio. So that's years. Just like J.J. Abrams signed with WB with his multi-million-dollar contract. Once episode 9's out, J.J. Abrams is going to be busy. Him and Bad Robot's going over to WB for a while. Same thing with the Russo brothers. Once Endgame was over and it was out, they signed contracts to go do other things. It isn't like, oh, Kevin Feige's like, hey, you can have Fantastic Four, and they're going to jump right back right away. No, they're tied up for at least 4 to 5 years. So if they come back, who knows? I do live in the camp that I think the Russo brothers will return at some point. I think the Russo brothers, you know, we look at Jon Favreau, Joss Whedon, James Gunn. I really think the Russo brothers is on that Mount Rushmore of who made the MCU possible. It's like they took the ball that Jon Favreau and Joss Whedon had, and they picked it up and they ran into the end zone with it. And I think the Russo brothers are the key thing of what really made the MCU this billion-dollar franchise. And I do think one day that they're going to come back at some point. What are they going to do? Are they going to do Fantastic Four? I don't think they're going to do Fantastic Four. Me personally, I think they're going to focus on something bigger scale. I think someone like a Peyton Reed will go ahead and do Fantastic Four. Peyton Reed was originally attached to a Fantastic Four movie over in Fox. And now he's doing Ant-Man and Wasp. There's no confirmation on an Ant-Man 3 coming out anytime soon. So why not move someone like Peyton Reed, who has a pure love for Fantastic Four and the material, and let him tackle the Fantastic Four movie. But I just think people are kind of running with these headlines, and they're not real headlines. So I just kind of wanted to throw that out there. But I want to know what you guys think. Do you think this is just all taken out of context and people are blowing up much bigger than it actually is? Be sure to leave your comments in the comment box below. Until next time, as always, I'm Robert Storms, and that's my opinion. Later.